Welcome to Community Connections. I'm Lori Matway, Associate Superintendent for Student and Community Services. Joining us today is Dr. Greg Savel. Dr. Savel is a pediatrician with offices in Oldsmar and in Clearwater. Thank you, Dr. Savel, for joining us once again.
It's always a pleasure to be here, and I appreciate you asking me.
We appreciate this. Well, we're moving into the holiday season.
We are.
And during the holiday season, most of us feel joy and happiness to spend time with families, to go shopping, to eat probably things we shouldn't be eating. But there's others that may experience some depression,
Right.
Anxiety.
Correct.
What are some of those signs, especially in children, of depression, and what should parents, teachers, friends look for?
Well, I think we know that we've kind of reached a crisis situation in some ways in our society and people in elementary, middle, and high school, because that's what we're talking about here. And unfortunately, we know that depression and anxiety can have something to do with nature and nurture. We know it can have to do with your genetic predisposition, and we know it can have something to do with the situation at hand. And that's what you're talking about in the holidays. There are so many pressures that come in the holidays, whether it's buying the right gift for somebody or whether people become sad because someone's no longer with us or things are not like they used to be. I'm hoping that parents pay attention to their kids and that older kids pay attention to each other and the teachers pay attention. And kids who have become withdrawn or seem more excitable or more angry or maybe talking about what the world would be like without them or start giving away things and certain things like that would set off a series of alarms in the mind of parents or a friend or a teacher to be able to talk to that child and get him or her help.
Yes. Where would they go for this help?
Well, we know the schools do a great job, and that's what we've been talking about even before we've discussed this here on camera, is the fact that there is a pipeline, there is a way of getting in touch with people through the school. In the school setting, of course, if you are worried, then immediately somebody should speak to the counselor at that school, and then everything is in place to help that kid. But of course, if these concerns come up in the home, I hope that parents will immediately call their pediatrician or other connection they have for health, and that the pipeline will be in place there to get that child help as soon as possible. But sometimes only friends are aware, teenage kids, and I hope, and we're going to always talk about something I tell the kids, be the kind of friend who is willing to lose a friend rather than lose someone's life. And I hope that you will take the time to even go against your friend to make sure he or she gets help if you think they need it.
Great advice. Thank you. Well, a little bit on a lighter note.
Absolutely.
The next big holiday, we're going to be hitting New Year's.
Sure.
As adults, we often make New Year's resolutions. Well, what about children? Should they make a New Year's resolution? And if so, what kind of resolution should they make?
Well, I think it's a wonderful thing to teach kids from a very young age. One of the things you can teach the youngest kids is perhaps they would not ask Santa for as many expensive gifts for the following year. But the truth of the matter is we could all be healthier. You know, I've been around this town a long time. You don't have to look too far down these wonderful shirts my mom makes to think that my New Year's resolution of eating less carbohydrates is going unanswered. But I think people becoming more healthy, people deciding to eat better, to get more exercise, is very important. But also I think it's okay to even tell your 4-year-old how they can promise to be a better friend, to be less of a bully, or to report bullies, or to tell people when they think they're not being a friend. Because wouldn't it be a more pleasant place to live for all of us if we could be better to each other? And that's a wonderful resolution that we can all make.
That's great. Great advice, Doctor.
Thank you.
Well, as we transition, we're going to go into a really serious topic of mental health issues.
Yes.
So when we come back, you're going to join us for this conversation and questions from our own students.